Hello, hello, and welcome. I am so glad that you are here. If you've been running your business or you just thinking about starting a business, but you find that you run into some financial snafus here and there, either there's a lot of expenses going out and not enough coming in, or not enough in to support going out. Well, that's what we're going to talk about today as we talk to you about Get Your Money, Honey. Get Your Money, Honey, establishing business credit. All right, so you're here with me. I am Rashida Green. I am the CEO and founder of Mompreneur HQ, where we help moms start, grow, and scale their virtual home-based businesses so that they can build the life of their dreams without neglecting themselves or their families in the process. I am so glad that you are here with us because we like to help moms who are looking to start businesses to get started. We're here to help moms who have businesses but just need a little more help. We're here to help you. And if you have a business that's established, but you need that extra push, that extra marketing drive to be able to scale your business, or the systems that you need in place to be able to support a growing business, then we're here to help you too. So if you're here watching us live, go ahead and put hashtag live in the feed, and we will be glad to talk to you here. And for those of you who are watching via replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay, and we will give you a high five or a shout out later on after your response. So I did want to mention a few things. So if you go ahead and stick with us till the end, you'll hear more about what we have coming up this weekend. And you should see it growing across your page, the Get Legit Business Bootcamp that's happening this Saturday from 9:30 to 12:30 p.m., 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. this Saturday. If you want to join us, you need to go ahead and hit me in the messenger, or at the bottom of this video, go ahead and say I'm in or I want in, so that I know to reach out to you, get you that important information such as the link to pay and any additional information like the coupon code that you use, a special coupon code that you need in order to get access to this $1,500 course for a $1,500 program for just $60. All right, I want to go ahead and get started and talk to you about getting your money, right? As an entrepreneur, you're more apt to take risks than the average person, period. But do you enjoy the thrill of business and investing so much that you're willing to take these risks, like being hounded by creditors, declaring bankruptcy, being denied a mortgage, paying more than your fair share of interest on your loans, losing your house? If you answered no to one or more of these questions, this may be the most important information you've heard in a long time. Problematic as they are, entrepreneurs and business owners often face all of these difficulties. And it's all because of your business. You see, entrepreneurs typically make one or more financially devastating mistakes when they start their business. In most cases, they don't even realize that they're making a mistake. And even when they recognize their mistake, some people convince themselves that consequences will be minimal, and that's often not the case. So until one day they can't qualify for the mortgage, or they're forced to take high interest rates on that to die for a new vehicle that they're now financing, or they're hounded by creditors and eventually have to declare bankruptcy. And it's all because they use their personal finances to fund the launch or expansion of their business. Let me just say here, I'm one of those people. I've started multiple businesses from my personal assets, my personal bank account. Didn't know that business credit existed. Now I'm sure it existed. And I'm thinking maybe it was for big businesses, corporations, people with 300 employees. And just never thought about it, of course, until someone mentioned it. I was watching on YouTube and someone said, this is how you get business credit. And I was like, oh, that's not really for me. But it just so happened, it paused because there was a phone call I had to take on my cell phone. And then once the cell phone call disconnected, it automatically started playing that video. And I listened and was like, wait a minute. Just a regular, I'm going to start a business person can get business credit? Interesting. So I was intrigued. And I just can't imagine now how I let that opportunity just slip me, and the struggles that I was having financially with the businesses that I did have. It was like, I didn't have to do all this struggling. All I needed to do was consult somebody. Somebody just needed to tell me that this was an option for me. Instead, I was using my personal credit cards to pay for my business expenses. And if you are in a business or thinking about starting a business, then business credit is a must. So let's get into it. Most business owners have no idea, that was me, that they can establish business credit, and even fewer know how to establish business credit. If owners would take the time necessary to educate themselves about establishing credit, then they would no longer have to use their personal funds for starting up capital or working capital. They would also be able to use business credit cards, which don't report to their personal credit reports, therefore not lowering their personal credit scores or impacting them at all. When a business obtains unsecured credit, they have the working capital they need to start their business or expand. They can use these lines of credit however they want, and best of all, it won't affect your personal credit report. Can I just say that business credit does not affect your personal credit? There are times when you will have to do a secured credit card, get secured credit, and there are some requirements to getting started. But depending on your credit score and things like that, then you absolutely can get unsecured credit to help build your business. But before starting your business, you should explore all of the available financing options that are available to you through different banks. While it can be challenging for a startup without much track record to obtain these funds, many banks offer unsecured lines of credit that may meet your needs. Business credit is a necessity for every business owner. So don't risk your personal assets and finances, or don't risk your personal assets, finance, or fund your business. So when we're talking about financing your business and getting business credit, there are a few things that you need in order to do that. So just to back up a bit, what we're talking about, if you're just joining us now, is getting your money, honey, establishing business credit. So if you're here once again, hashtag live. If you're catching us on a replay, hashtag replay. And we are going to give you at least 5 requirements. These are not hard and fast requirements. These are not, they may vary based on the different banks and lenders, but they're basically the same 5, just juggle them around, move them pieces around, but generally the same 5 things that are being required for business credit. Now, the first thing that some banks will require is your personal credit score, and they will do that, as there are some, and I will dare to say most, will do that, especially for new businesses. They will look at your personal credit. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that your credit is going to stop you from getting this business credit, but it may make some lenders wary. So some can go as low as 580, but most try to stay above 640 and above in order to give you that business credit, that unsecured business credit. Now, if you're lower than that, they may still give you the credit. It would just be secured monies. All right, so let's get started. Number one, we're talking about the credit score 640 above. Number two is an LLC. Now, I know some of you think you don't need to, I'm a sole proprietor, but I think I mentioned on a previous um, live that as a sole proprietor, you are not separating your finances and therefore make yourself liable to um, be responsible for any your personal finances will be responsible for any obligations that you may have from your business. If someone wanted to take your business to court, or they wanted to get a lawyer in action on you, legal action on you, you are not a business by yourself. So you and anybody connected to you may be impacted by any settlement that you might need to that you might owe based on your business activities. So if the product that you were selling was only $50, but they want to sue you for $50,000, your business only made $1,000 that whole year. They can go after your personal finances for the rest of the 49,000. If you don't have it personally, they can go after you and your spouse's account money. So the money that you work together to save now is impacted by this loss. So it's just I know we do DBAs, I know we do sole proprietorship, and you are entitled to do what you would like to do with your business. But on a, let's go bring it back to not Rashida, but based on what most businesses, what most banks would do as far as lending money, they require an LLC. Now, sole proprietorship may be the most accessible type of business to form. It's also the type that offers the least legal protection, which is why I always say at least start with the LLC, because the LLC, or the limited liability company, is a type of business structure that helps shield your personal assets from loss against your business debt. As an owner of an LLC, if you get sued or go bankrupt as a business, you're not considered personally liable. And the term you'll hear about when referring to an LLC is pass-through taxation. All that means is that all income from the business passes to the owners. Taxes are then paid on those funds as ordinary income tax by the owners, which will include self-employment taxes. Let me let me just add this in here that I am not a tax advisor, a CPA, or a lawyer. This is research information that you can actually get yourself on SBA.gov. You can get it from IRS.gov. You can get it from, so you got your small business, you got several other just business websites for those who are interested in learning more information about the difference between sole proprietorship and LLC. Then you can go ahead and get that information. I'm just sharing this to help you get an idea of how you can get your money, get more money for your business. All right. And any type of business except for professional partnerships can become an LLC. And in the case of partnerships, they would need to form an LLP. That's a limited liability partnership. And LLCs are popular for service providers and all kinds of business entities because it's a low cost and easy to set up structure. When I say easy to set up, there are people who charge hundreds of dollars for an LLC. But I'm telling you, if you sign up for the Get Legit Business Bootcamp, you will be able to set up your very own LLC. And if you're not prepared financially to set it up at that point in time, you will at least learn how to set up your very own LLC right there during the bootcamp in 20 minutes or less. your very own LLC. So you don't have to pay any additional monies other than the registration fee of your state in order to establish your LLC. An LLC can work for most business types and is the preferred choice for most online business owners who can have one. Okay, so that is the LLC. That is one of the main requirements for getting your money, honey, from these banks who are willing to give to new businesses. The next item is an EIN number. And that's basically an employee identification number. Even if you don't have employees within your company, it's for business. EIN is good for one or more employees. And if you are working in your business, you should be already identifying that you are an employee of your own business. You may be the head honcho, but you are still an employee. A CEO of a business does not because they're the CEO, doesn't get a paycheck. That's absolutely incorrect. You're supposed to be paying yourself. That's something also that you can consult a CPA tax advisor about. You should be paying yourself in your business so that you are running like a legitimate business. Okay. So an EIN, an employee identification number, is something that you can get, again, easily through the irs.gov website. You can do it yourself in the matter of minutes. And you can once you have that EIN number, the banks will recognize that you are, okay, you have an LLC and you have an EIN number. To them, you are a legitimate business, and you now have an opportunity to work with these banks on a different level, not just as a regular savings and checking account member, but as a business owner. And as we move on from that, the next step, bank account. They want to know that you have a bank account, and it's almost easier if you have a bank account to get a business banking account with that bank. So for instance, big bank is Bank of America. If you have a savings account already with them or some type of banking relationship with them, and you want to get a business account, they will more than likely consider your application for a business checking or business savings, which they really don't do business savings, but business checking account, because you are already a loyal customer. So consider checking out your own bank where you're banking at, but don't feel pigeonholed. You can most certainly try other banks, see what they're offering. And you definitely want to shop around because you want the bank that's going to offer you those nice, cushy cash rewards or those nice travel points. Because when you're using your business credit card or your business line of credit, you have access to these things. So you want to be able to use those. Also, when checking for a bank account, you want to look at what fees are they charging. Are they charging a whole lot of fees? When you're also shopping, you want to look for those banks who are saying, hey, we'll give you 0% interest for 24 months. Those are the type of people you want. That's the bank you want to bank with. People who are going to give you 0% interest on your purchases and still pay out a decent 3% or more on cash back rewards or travel points. So next, we're moving on to point number 4. There's a company that a lot of people don't even know of, and it's Duns & Bradstreet. So Duns & Bradstreet, short D&B. So I'll stick with that. So D&B is a company equivalent to your TransUnion and Experian, the big three. So they are the trackers, so to speak, of your business credit. So if there's any business credit issues or just business credit history, they're the ones that would be tracking that. You get a D&B number, which is similar to, I don't want to say a social security number, but similar to an EIN number, maybe. It's just an identifier. I guess it is like a social security number for your business. And that number, it ties into all of your business activity, your history, your payment history, your lateness, and it produces or kicks out a credit score, so a business credit score. And when these banks are considering you for business loans, business credit, business line of credit, they are looking at your DMB number. If you don't already have one established, it's not going to put you out of the running for these credit cards, but having that and establishing a great credit history will help you in being able to get those credit lines that you're looking for your business. So think about that. DMB, again, something that's less than 20 minutes to do during the course of a day. It doesn't require a lot of work, but it does require that you have certain information available. So you can go to Duns and Bradstreet and look at what their requirements are in advance, so that way you know what you need to be able to get to the computer and just start filling in the information and get done. All right. And then the last step for getting your money, honey, and establishing business credit is actually applying for business credit. So I gave you some tips on going to the banks, but there are also a lot of other credit card options out there. You can do vendor credit, and there are so let me just throw that out there to you. You're not gonna just go and just apply for every single card, because as I mentioned previously, they do consider those as hard pulls. A lot of them do hard pulls for the credit cards. So you don't want to do that and jeopardize your personal score. Now, there are some tricks around that. Again, I am not a CPA. I am not a tax advisor. These are just tips and strategies that I've learned along the way. But if you do all of these within a certain time frame, preferably within a 2-week time frame, and preferably at the beginning of the month, because they usually update at the end of the month. There's certain tricks that you can do so that when you're doing them in bulk like that, and it's the same if you're going to buy a house, which is what I learned when I learned about this. If you're going to buy a house, the banks pulling your credit card, your credit information to see if they're going to give you a mortgage, they do a hard pull. And if you're shopping different mortgage companies and they're spread out, there are going to be individual dings on your credit report, and you can lose as much as 30 points. But if you do them all within a certain cluster of time, then the systems at Experian and TransUnion, etc., they recognize them as one pull. Now, we know that you've done 3, 4, 5, but if you've done them in a cluster of time, they understand that you are doing some type of research to try to get the best deal. So it recognizes as one pull, and so instead of losing 30 points times 4 or 5, you're only losing 30 points times 1. So that's just another side tip for you to know. But in general, if you're trying to build up your business, it is better if you know that now in the beginning that you have access to these funds than to start dig a hole where there goes your personal credit, there goes your personal savings. Now you have creditors calling you. Now you have to stop and close shop because you can't afford to do anything else with it. Before it's too late, just look into business credit options. You don't have to take my word for it. I'm just sharing the information with you. And I'm also going to be sharing that information a little deeper on Saturday at the Get Legit Business Bootcamp. For those of you who are interested, we will be able to go again through obtaining business funds. That's one of the things that we're going to go through. As I mentioned, establishing your LLC, getting your EIN, getting your Duns and Bradstreet number, investigating bank options to be able to get business credit, and so much more. But today, I just wanted to make sure that you knew that you have the option to get business funding so that you don't have to be trying to figure this thing out with your personal finances. That can be so stressful, and it can just be overwhelming when you're thinking to yourself, I want to start a business. I think I have an idea. I want to start a business, but I don't have the finances. The truth is, you as an individual may not have the finances, but you as a business can certainly apply for some. So no despair, don't despair. You have options. If you're struggling with the idea of using your personal income, or if you already witnessed for yourself that you just been eating away at your personal savings trying to run this business, then you need to consider other options on ways to fund your business. And for those of you in the MLM world, those multi-level marketing businesses such as Avon, Mary Kay, Amway, and even what's my $5 bling, paparazzi. When thinking about those businesses, it actually may be a little difficult in the sense that you can't really incorporate a business of with something that belongs to someone else. In this case, an MLM, you are a salesperson for that business. Although you are an independent contractor, an independent business owner, you making your own money, you're filing your own taxes on this money that you get from this business. You don't actually own the product, and therefore you can't actually form an LLC for that product specifically. But you have other options. You can consult a tax advisor or a lawyer. And those other options may include adding additional services to your business. So that's going to be a whole nother conversation, because I really do believe that there should be a passive income stream in your business. You should definitely want to investigate or consider passive income streams to your business. If you already have a business, how can you use that business to bring in residual income month after month? What can you do to add to that service? And some of the recommendations that I've shared with some people was, if you do have a beauty line, or a business promoting beauty products, what about tutorials? Can you get set up a video tutorial business where you teach people how to put on makeup, how to get that night look, how to get that first impression date night look? If you're doing lashes, the same, whatever it is to get that that new look with your makeup. If you sell clothes, how about styling videos? Would you consider making styling videos that you would charge for? Hey, if you want this style, here's what you need to do. If you sell Tupperware, another way to make another way to do that, or another passive income stream for selling Tupperware, is selling your ideas for how to store, for meal planning. That's an idea. For meal planning, it's something that's going to supplement what you're already doing. Even though you don't own that business as an MLM, you can still do a supplemental business that's going to bring you in personal income or business income that you can then use or set up as an LLC business, so that you can keep your funds separated. Because once you start commingling, it's not good. But anyway, that's it for today. I definitely want you to go out there and get your money, honey, because that personal messing up your personal credit, messing around with a business ain't good for nobody. Ain't nobody got time for that. If you have further questions or you want to just connect with me, definitely reach out, www.themompreneurhq.com/clarity-call, so that we can get on the line and kind of hash out what kind of business ideas that you have, how I may be able to help you, and if we're a good fit to continue with a working relationship. And if you are interested in the Back to Business Bootcamp, you can reach out on the www.themompreneurhq.com/VIP-intensive-checkout. That's right. That is the link to check out. Of course, it is a link without the coupon code. In order to get the coupon code, you got to reach out. You got to tell me that you want to be down on this Saturday. So reach out to me. That is the code information. I am so glad that you were able to join me. I look forward to these weekly lives with you. And until next time.